Hello, it's Deanne here, and welcome to my Thoughts Are Energy webinar. This is a pretty important topic because it affects all parts of our life. And I'm going to walk you through different aspects of how our thoughts can affect our relationships, our environment, and even our financial position. There's been a lot of experiments done around thoughts being energy. Of course, quantum physics is caught up and teaching us a lot more, or proving at least what a lot of us already knew. So thoughts are an energy that are transmitted by the mind. You may have heard of Dr. Emoto's experiment with water, where they spoke different tones and different words into water and froze it to see different crystallized shapes dependent on the energy around the words being spoken. There's also been experiments done with plants, different music, different language being put into the energy around plants, and negative energy has caused plants to wilt and even die. But positive thoughts has promoted the growth. With the music, it was classical music, which is more soothing and happier, I suppose, that created a boost in the plant growth, whereas heavy metal, hard rock noises again cause the plants to wilt and even sometimes die. So we can see just in nature itself around water and plants how our words, dependent on the energy attached, can affect the external environment. We too are part of nature. We are over 60% water. So thoughts, tones of voice, words can also affect us. Your thoughts create your reality. You may have heard that before. So what is it you think about yourself? In adulthood, we are only thinking with our conscious thought 5% of the time. The other 95% of the time is our subconscious thoughts. So what are you thinking subconsciously? Normally, our self-conscious, also known as the ego, is trying to protect us from anything that has occurred to us in the past or anything that is a perceived threat. So 95% of the time, you are in a space of self-preservation. So how do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about where you are in your life? How do you feel about your future? Do you look back into your past? Our ego is always trying to protect us from our past by sheltering our future. If you're stuck in an event that happened ages ago, that is how your thought processes are going to impact your now. So a great way is to take those thoughts and put them onto paper, or talk into a dictaphone, or talk into your mobile phone. Just getting it out of you. Talk to a friend, talk to a counsellor. Releasing these negative thoughts so they're no longer within you will help create a better self-belief and eventually a better environment, which I'll get into a bit further down the track. So I find journaling and writing in a gratitude or appreciation diary very effective. Also, planning my day. At the beginning of my day, I write down 3 things I'm grateful for, how I'm feeling when I wake up in the morning. This helps you to recognize any patterns of negative thoughts that you may be waking with. And I write down my intention for the day, which solidifies that thought into my subconscious so that I actually make it happen. Releasing negative thoughts opens up your mind to positive thoughts. Perception is a massive part of what we think. So how do you view your life? How do you view your environment? How do you view the people around you? What do you think they think of you? How do you think they behave around you? Sometimes what we're seeing isn't actually what's happening. And more often than not, when we think people are thinking about us, they're not. They're just like you, self-conscious, concerned about what other people are thinking. This is what I like to call mirroring. When we see in others what we don't actually like about ourselves, or we see in others what we're fearful of that isn't necessarily real. We often attract people into our lives to mirror us, to mirror our fears, to mirror our lack of self-worth, so that we can see it for ourselves. The opposite can happen too. You can be mirroring somebody else to them. So when you get a reaction from somebody else, it's most likely really about them. Very helpful to recognize that. They're reflecting ourselves back at us, and we are reflecting themselves back at them. So we tend to attract people that are either like us or like our faults in us that we see as faults. If you're thinking negatively all the time, what do you think you're going to attract? What you put out is what you receive. The law of attraction. If you're feeling better about yourself, you'll attract people that like you too. If you're behaving as your true self, you will attract people like you. And when you're with people that are like you, you'll feel more confident, you'll be more happy, and you'll attract more of the same. I know I'd like to be around happy, confident people. And we can learn from those people too. So your inside reflects your outside, and your outside reflects your inside. When you've lost your passion or love for yourself, it shows in your environment. Your inner world and your outer world will look the same. When you're not being your true self, you lose your connection to spirit, to your higher self, to your passion. How does your place look? Do you have a spotless house but a messy bedroom? Are you following your passion? Are you doing what you love to do? Mess also reflects us in the respect of being too busy. When you're too busy, you don't have time to take care of yourself. And if you're not taking care of yourself, why is anybody else going to take care of you? Because you're reflecting the energy that you don't deserve to be cared for. If you don't attract your worth, it's probably because you don't value yourself. Thoughts are energy. Whatever you're thinking about yourself is what you will receive. If you're too busy and show you don't have time for yourself, why would anybody have time for you? Thoughts alone aren't enough either. You have to actually believe it. You have to feel it. Emotions are the biggest drive for a human being. You feel happy, if you feel self-confident, even if you're faking it till you make it, as long as you have that emotion there, positive thought isn't enough. You need to feel it. That is what the energy is that is sent out. The emotions, along with the thought, are much more powerful than thought alone. If you're trying to attract abundance into your life, how would you feel if you had abundance? If you're trying to attract love into your life, how would you feel if you were loved? If you were doing the thoughts without the emotion, as an example, if you were saying you want to attract a soulmate, or you have your soulmate, or you deserve a soulmate, and within you, you don't believe it, you don't feel it, then the energy that goes with that thought is actually the negative. And you won't attract the positive. So when you're saying an affirmation, when you're writing your goals, use the positive language, but also feel it, believe it. Then you'll attract the people you wish to attract. You'll attract the money or abundance of any kind that you want to attract. The reverse can work too. If you do have that messy house, if you were to clean it up, you would actually feel better about yourself. instead of being triggered and reacting to people, if you understand that they are in that space too, they will act differently towards you. I hope this webinar has helped you. And if so, please let me know by responding to however you receive this. And I'd love to help you some more. So you can find me at flourishwithdeanne.com.au on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram. See you next time. Bye.